All right, we're good. So, yeah, I'm tired. You guys tired?
Oh yeah, really tired.
Yeah, so this is Team Sunshine discussion. It's been a long time, and we're here with myself, Corum. We got Zeke
Hello.
and Nick.
Hi.
So Nick got first loser over in Jacksonville. How does it feel?
I am the most successful of all the losers.
At least you didn't have to cheat.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I feel really weird about some of the stuff that people were saying.
Mm-hmm. Like what? Like what was one thing that stuck out to you?
So there was a lot of the rumor mills. Like there were points in the day where people pulled me to the side and say, "Hey, if you play against a person who's using this deck, pay attention because he's probably cheating."
Mm-hmm.
I heard like weird things going on with some shadow players that were getting like 30K based on the opponent's turns, which I was like, how do shadows do that? Can they do that? I don't think they can.
Mm-hmm.
I was hearing weird things about a Neo Nectar player. I was hearing some weird things about a Bermuda Triangle player. So the good news is that all the warnings kept me on my toes.
That's good.
Yeah. I know while we were around working the event, people kept coming up to us and pretty much asking like, why isn't he like disqualified yet? Which we'll talk more about that later, but oh man, I mainly heard about the Neo Nectar player. I think you two also, right, Zeke?
I watched a few of their games, yeah. I think I was called for rulings on 2 or 3 of their games,
Mm-hmm.
if I remember correctly. Because I was called when he was playing the Pale Moon player in round 5. I was called whenever he was playing the Neo Nectar player in round 6 and the Big Belly player in round 7, I believe.
Yeah. I first ran into the Neo Nectar player he was playing against a Pale Moon player, and he was trying to tell the player that he could not use, I think it's like Moonlight, Beast Tamer, Betty, and he couldn't call QD Paratrooper to chain into something, which he was correct, but
yeah.
someone was trying to get him on another ruling after the game was like subsided.
Yeah, you called me over there for that. He was trying to activate QD Paratrooper, but he couldn't because it wasn't called by a Magia effect. It was called by some other card.
It was a normal ability.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tensions were high, especially around that player. So,
yeah, Nick, tell us more about your tournament stuff.
Yeah, it's okay. I ended up beating that player.
It's okay. The judges wound up exploding that player too.
Yeah. And it's really weird.
Or dejected or ejected words.
Because it's because I gave my deck tech on another channel. Even though this has always been our core channel, but the guy who got first was just so tight. And in all honesty, out of all the people I met, there wasn't a person who deserved to win more than him, besides for me. But it was really odd because it wasn't like any other event that I'd been to in the past. Like it was well run, which is weird.
Which is weird.
Yeah, which is odd. Also, I really, really, really appreciated how the head judge, or not the head judge, what's his name now? The
event organizer?
Yeah, the event organizer, the guy that did all the posters himself.
Oh, Christian, yeah.
Yeah, Christian.
Yeah, I like how he kept on calling. I love how he kept on calling people Vanguarders on purpose because he knew it made them mad.
Yeah.
I was like, this man's my hero.
Yeah, I told you that after the event, and you were like, that's amazing. Dude is cool.
Yeah, he was tight.
I'm going to send him a link to our video, and we'll show, like, hey, man, hire me, please.
Yeah, shout outs.
Boss, if you're watching this.
I sat at the table, and I was talking to all the other people with buy cards, and we had a conversation about GBH strides. And there was after we had a discussion about the GBH strides, there were a couple players where I was like, you're not making it to day 2. But other than that, most of the people were pretty cool. The first having the buy card is a relief and also just incredibly boring. Like during the first round, I just got a cup of coffee with 7 shots of espresso. And then during the second round, I was regretting all the decisions that I ever made up until that point in my life.
Mhm.
Yeah, you had to spend like what, about an hour and a half out of games doing nothing.
Yes. Round 3, I played against Aquaforce, and it was Ripple Rush.
It was your rival.
It was my rival. Yeah, so fun fact, if you go to a box tournament and everyone goes, we want to split the box, I'm going to beat you and take your box, the people there aren't your friends, especially when you screw them and take their box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
He was playing Ripple Rush, and he attacks me, and he just goes all in like Ripple Rush is supposed to, and I get the grade 3, and I'm like, sweet, I win. I have like a Death Note moment almost, where it's just like I see the triangle lock. I was like, he doesn't get to play anymore. This just got real. I won. There's no other alternative where he can beat me. And then he shreds into Thavas, gives him the ability to attack by the back row, and then I realized it was a Thavas hybrid.
yeah.
And
And I
he played the
cried.
grade 2. Yeah, he played the grade 2 one that has Counterblast, Soul Blast, attack twice, and gave that the ability to attack from the background. I was like, oh, I just lied to myself.
That's because you didn't take a potato chip and eat it. That's what happened.
He beat me, and at that point, my spirits were just kind of crushed. I was like, oh my god, I have to go the rest of the day without losing a game in order to stand a chance to get in the top. I go to round 4, and I play against Oracle Think Tank, and then just instantly feel better.
I actually saw that game because you were on the same side as me, and I think you triple critted, right? Or was it double crit?
No, it was something much better. So we're going. My opening hand was terrible. It was nothing but it was a grade 1, a grade 2, and a whole bunch of triggers. And throughout the game, I somehow top decked Chaos Bringer, but she pushed her through the stall, didn't call anything. So here I am on grade 3 with nothing to lock and nothing but triggers in my hand, so I can't stride.
Mm-hmm.
So I G guard her next attack. I just guard. I have so many triggers in hand that I don't care. Oh yeah, also my Twin Drive. I finally got what I needed in order to start actually playing the game. She starts calling units. Since I G guard, I was able to do Big Crunch as my first stride, do Millium to pretty much lock her out of the game, and then at that point I just started chipping away. Hilarious is that I take her card hand down to 0 cards. She top decks a Stride Enabler, strides into the new Susano.
Mm-hmm.
Counterblast 2 puts 5 cards in her hand, and then attacks. Has 8 cards in her hand again. I swing. I get 2 crits, and it takes everything in her hand to stop my attacks once again. She has 0 cards in hand again.
Mm-hmm.
Top decks a grade 3 to Stride. Has no units on the field. She can't really do anything. And I perfect guard her Vanguard, and then her drive check is a grade 3, a grade 3, and a grade 3. So at that point, I felt I apologized because I felt really bad because when you're at 5 damage, no cards in field, and 3 grade 3s in your hand, you just die.
Yeah.
The game 5 I played against. What did I play? Game 5. Game 5. Well, oh yes, Silver Thorns.
Yeah.
Oh,
Another
yeah.
person from locals, right?
It was one of our locals. Standard Silver Thorn Rush locked him out of the game. There's nothing he can do. I won. Game.
Yeah, sounds right.
Do it.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Yeah.
used to that every time you go against Josh. So.
So round 6, I go sit down against another one of the Pensacola local players, someone that I know, and he's playing Nubatama, and I just think to myself, oh crap, I don't want to play Nubatama. That matchup's going to be annoying. I can win it. I've done it a million times, and I don't feel like dealing with it. And that's when they called repairings, and I felt better. And I sat down against another Nubatama player.
That's amazing.
So I played Nubatama, and he ended up taking out about 5 cards out of my hands from his effects. And then because I'm Chaos, I take 3 cards out of his hand from effects, except when I take cards out of his hand, he also gets less attacks, whereas that's just less stuff I can guard with. So I just chipped away a little bit better than he could chip away at me. Cool guy. Is probably my second or third favorite person there. Go against Gears next, and we're both relieved. We know we're making it to day 2. We start playing, and then I triangle lock him, so there isn't really too much going on. I have 3 perfect guards in my hand. I'm just thinking, oh crap. I have 3 perfect guards, and I'm going to just blow through my hand guarding. I don't want to do this. And then he goes into Gear Groovy immediately. I was like, well, I guess I'm using these now.
Okay.
Might as well.
So I saw Gear Chronicle. I ended up not being able to get him because even though I triangle locked him, he was just able to do water plays and draw a ton of cards. But because of that, he killed himself through deck out. Day 1. Day 2, I played against Spike Bros. And the first thing I thought to myself was, what is this doing in day 2? Did he lie to the judges?
That dude was really cool.
That dude was tight. I was so weirded out because the thing is, I knew Crush Rush. I knew that it's like a glorious win or a spectacular fail.
Mm-hmm.
He had to ask me a card ruling. I remember him.
Yeah, he was super tight. He does the Crush Rush, and he makes. I ended up. The reason why I beat him game 1 is because what's his name now? The starter that kills himself and gets any Spike Bros.
Mega Trainer.
Yeah, he goes Mecha Trainer and doesn't. He doesn't put anything behind his Vanguard, so that gives me the ability to guard early.
Mm-hmm.
So when it gets time to where I know that they run a ton of crits and draws, I know that they're trying to get the Crush Rush. So knowing that my opponents are trying to get the Crush Rush, I purposely just not kill units, keep my hand low on purpose, or keep the killing low on purpose, so that way I can just keep the triangle lock, and I'll give him a column that he needs to do stupid Frog Raider plays. And it got to a point to where he hit draw triggers and what he needed to survive. So when it came time for Crush Rush, I was still at 3 damage and had enough hand to just guard a couple attacks, and he just didn't have the soul to make. So I guarded the first couple and took the last couple with peace of mind, knowing that it wasn't going to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then game 2, he wised up. He knew that I was going to guard early, so he put something behind his Vanguard, and I just triangle locked and just weeded at game. I was able to kill him a little bit more consistently the second time around. Then I play against the Neonectar player, the one that got kicked out for cheating.
Did he get kicked out?
Yeah.
He got kicked out, which I'll tell you the most hilarious part about that.
Oh boy.
So he didn't really do anything fishy in my game. I kept a very close eye because I heard a lot of rumors about a Neonectar player throughout the day, and it wasn't the member of our team. So
Well,
The member of our team got beat.
Well, go ahead, Zeke.
The member of our team got beat by sleep.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, that's true.
It's funny how he said he was top 32, but he's not.
He was top 68.
Yeah.
I was top 2. He can suck it.
But basically, like we all had a very good idea of how the deck worked, and I feel like you had the best idea how it worked because you played Harry so much.
Also, I built it myself.
Yeah.
So when he played against me, I just triangle locked him, and I wasn't really worried about him getting a column, but I also just didn't want him to attack me.
Mm-hmm.
And so game 1, he ends up going to. He does his first stride. He goes into his second stride, which is the Inferno, I think her name is.
Yeah.
Does the stand trigger combo to put a lot of cards in his hand, and he does that twice.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an incredible pain because Chaos doesn't make big numbers. I lock you out of the game. You only get 1 attack a turn, and then I just slowly weed away while you don't have fun playing the game. So when someone's able to do a big play where they draw a ton of cards, regardless of them being able to do stupid column attacks or combo attacks or boost attacks or anything like that, that's the inherent thing about advantage is that I do get really good advantage through Chaos Breaker skill, but its biggest advantage is that it stops you from making your own advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So he's able to make his own advantage. I don't make big numbers, so I just have to chip away from him. And it took us 40 minutes to finish game 1. And I'm like, do you really want to go to game 2? And he goes, yes.
Ooh.
So then I just get all the perfect triggers that I need and kill him in the first 10 minutes. Also, I had to perform Legion twice game 1 because he drew so many cards.
Oh, jeez.
So the funny part about it is how he got disqualified was that someone caught him in the lobby altering his deck, and the judge went out there to confirm it, and he was DQ'd.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was informed about that while I was working, so
But we did tournament math beforehand.
Mhm.
And since he lost round 2 of day 2, his tiebreakers were set to a point where he could not make top 8 with the people that were left.
Okay.
So essentially, he got
threw it
caught
away.
cheat. Yeah, he couldn't make it in the first place. Like there was just no way,
Yeah.
unless like a whole bunch of people scooped.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
So he got caught cheating after he already was knocked out of top 8.
He just didn't know it yet.
Oh,
He
man.
just didn't know it yet.
Hey,
This tournament math is hard.
That's dramatic irony.
Then the last match of before top 8 is the Shadow player that beat me both times. It's really weird because we play tested Shadows before leaving, and I felt really confident because when we play tested Shadows, I was like, hey, if I lock them out and they can't do Lord calls, I'm fine.
And then Bilal came out.
Yes, wow.
In between the testing and then Bilal came out. Like literally, one card made the deck broken.
And that new Perfect Guard too. That made a world of difference.
That wasn't new.
That wasn't new? Was it out
That
before?
card's been out.
Oh.
I just had no
In that
reason
case,
for
yeah,
it because I
Bilal
didn't
came
have
out.
anything to sack.
But no, it's the
Now I have
fact
Bilal to sack.
it's the fact that you can call Belial Owl, sack it to return a PG, bounce a PG, and you draw off it. So you already got the cost for a perfect card ready to go.
Yeah.
That was really dumb. Not to mention, did you expect him to run 10k vanillas in the deck?
No, I did not. Which the 10k vanillas isn't really a big deal against Chaos. Like it's a big deal against every other matchup. Like whenever I see 10k vanillas, I'm like, eh. Oh no, I can't rush you. I play against a Shadow player, and what's really interesting is that the very first time we played each other, we didn't have good games. Now, when I say we didn't have good games, I mean it's not like we hate each other, didn't get along. Like both game 1, 2, and 3 just weren't good Vanguard games. So game 1, IG assist. Game 2, I triple crit him. Game 3, I'm unable to stride.
Yeah.
We played again. The games that we played in finals, now those are real games. Thank goodness we had real. At least I lost in a real game. We cut the top 8, and my opponent is playing Aquaforce. So you guys know me. So before I start talking about this match, I want you guys will confirm that normally when we play and someone makes a play mistake, I'm like, I don't care. I'm chill. Take it back.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do that in top 8. I play against Aquaforce.
What happened? Like, what actually happened?
Okay, so
And
what do I do
top 8 either.
before I tell this story? What do I do every time I ride Chaosbringer and intern with 2 cards locked? What do I say to you guys?
During main phase, I have effects.
Yeah.
Yes. Every time I say that to you. So I'm playing against the Aquaforce player, and I go into Chaosbringer while he's on grade 2. I lock his booster. He called another unit, so I decide to lock. I call Photon to lock that. And so he now has 2 locked units. I go, during your main phase, I have effects. He draws card, says main phase.
Mm-hmm.
I get Chaos Breaker. He goes, all right, Davos. And I'm like, you pass right phase, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, he had like a moment of shock. He knew he messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And he was so aware of how big the mistake was that there was a moment where he could not make a coherent sentence. And I'm not making fun of him. Like, he was in legit just shock.
Uh-huh.
He threw it all away.
So at that point, I just had another turn of free attacks, and that's all it took to beat, because he had to guard to survive, and with Aquaforce, you guard with your pieces, you lose. Game 2, he was really shucking up. He did G assist. Yeah, he was shaking up game 2, but he also performed a G assist, and I just beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Top 4 was Tachi's, and holy Christ.
I made a good call with Tachi's.
I never thought.
Dragon player, right?
It was the most polite person I've ever met in my entire life. It was like, he was calm when he said no guard for lethal damage. He was just like, I'll take it. Like, he He was just such a completely nice person that I felt bad for beating him. So I play him game 1 and he goes, "I'm dropping all my cards." I go, "Well, that's not nice." And then turn 2, I'm dropping even more cards. And then I get to stride turn and I'm able to just start locking stuff. Which, when you call a full board, it's also very upsetting for Chaos because I kind of need an open rearguard circle.
Uh-huh.
Both of the games, actually, I didn't stride on my first turn. I discarded for Chaos Breaker's effect. I triangle lock him. He just continues to rush or continues to put in Vanguard swings because I have so few cards in my hand at this point. Game 1, I was able to lock him out and just get the perfect cards that I needed. Needed the guarded strides. Game 2, the pressure was just too strong. I couldn't get there. Game 3, I was able to triangle lock again, and he didn't get what he needed to guard, so I beat him. And then top 2 was the Shadow player again. So this guy was so chill around the first time that I played him that I was really happy to be playing him again. Even though I'd lost him previously, and I was like, "Oh crap, Blau was real." Game 1 was close. Game 2, he steamrolled me. I triangle lock him. I try to cut him out of resources. Just wasn't really successful at doing it. He played Blau, draw cards, sack his units. He played David, and after I killed David to Breaker, he would put David back in his deck and then fetch it out, so he'd have 2 sacks. So that way, even though I triangle locked him, he'd still have 3 things to eat, which was a really smart play, something I didn't even think about. Also, something that didn't come up ever at any point in time in our locals. The combination of drawing cards off of sacking Blau Owls and plussing, and the pressure of going, hey, even if I don't have rear guards and even if I can't do stupid plays, I can still go into big scary vanguards that attack twice. That was kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
He plussed too hard. He put too much pressure on. I just couldn't beat him. So it was a good game. Happy that I topped Chaos in 2 separate Bushiroad events. The Chaos is still real. It makes me really mad when people say Chaos is bad or Chaos hasn't topped in forever. I've done it twice now. I've proven it's good. But that's everything I have to say about the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, we were basically on the drive home. I think it was Brennan. Was it Brennan who was keeping us up to date as we were driving back, Zeke?
No, it was Angelo or me. It was me because I was driving. You were driving.
Well, I meant like who was actually at the event saying like, he made it top so and so.
It was Brennan.
Yeah, so he was just keeping us up to date as I was driving everyone back. So we were like, yeah, Nick, go for first.
I'm sorry to disappoint you. I have my cry trophy.
It's okay.
Hey,
Shadows.
At least you got a trophy.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It's stained with the salt of my tears.
I'm just happy my deck won. And
yeah,
now
that turned out.
So Nick, I know you're the one who does a lot of number crunching, whereas like I know Zeke and I we try to look at previous results in that area also to try and get an idea of like what's going to be well. Were you fairly accurate on like what you knew you were going to go up against so many clans? Like how accurate were you?
So in terms of the overall show up rate, I don't know because I don't know the numbers of what was played the most. I will tell you because this year I'm taking ARG events as well into account. Didn't last year when I was crunching the numbers, so it makes a slight difference.
Yeah,
but when we were going in, Shadows had the highest win rate of between Bushiroad events and ARG events for 2017 at a win rate of right around 19%. And Gear Chronicle, or I'm not a win rate, a top rate of 19%, whereas Gear Chronicle had a top rate of right around 15%. And Messiah's was third with 9.
No, Thavis was third.
Yeah,
was it Thavis?
It was Thavis.
Yeah.
You know the best part is that it's completely because of Japan.
Yeah. It's literally Japan.
Yeah.
Fourth place was Messiah's and Sanctuary Guard and Night Rose all tied, I believe.
Mhm.
I played Shadows. I only played one Shadow player, which I played him twice.
Mhm.
That was great. And I played one Gear player, which everything went the exact opposite of my expectations, because I thought to my Chaos just has so few bad matchups. I was expecting Shadows to be a good matchup and Gears to be a bad matchup. And then when I played Gears, I beat it no problem and just got curb stomped by Shadows.
Mhm.
And the player that I played in Gears, you can't really say so he was a cool person, but you can say he wasn't bad because by the final round of the first day, he only had one loss. So that shows that he knew how to play it. So he wasn't a trash Gears player. So he was pretty good. I enjoyed playing him.
Oh, is he the bigger guy?
Yeah, he was a bigger guy.
Oh, cool. I watched one of his matches on day 2. He's the guy I got the Groovy turn 2 from.
Oh, yes.
Turn 2 Groovy is so hilarious.
It is.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
You literally go, my opponent's at 4 damage, Groovy second stride, Ragnarok stage, online, swing, you can't take either of these hits.
Yeah.
I played one of almost. I played the only decks that I played twice was Shadows because I played the same person twice, and I played Aqua Force twice.
Mhm.
When we got to top 8, there was the Messiah player who played the Shadow player, and I just put my hands together and prayed, and I was like, Shadow player beat Messiah player. Beat Messiah player. I would like to play in top 8. I didn't see a single Messiah deck. I didn't play against Gold at all. I didn't play Shadows until the very end.
Mhm.
There was so little of what tops majorly that I played against at the event. And like I said, I don't know the show up rate. I heard that there was a ton of gold.
Yeah, I was walking the floor, and I think the most common deck I saw was people playing New Gurgawit.
It was. I saw a
Yeah.
lot of golds. I saw a couple Murakumo decks. I saw a lot of Tachis also.
I saw a lot of Novas too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Also, so I've decided that I'm going to release the numbers once the sample size gets to 50 decks.
Okay.
That's when I'm going to release the numbers to the public, because right now we have a sample size right around 32-ish.
Mhm.
And we just had an event again, which will bring it up to 37. And we have an ARG, and that'll bring it up to almost 40-something.
Mhm.
Yeah, so once the sample size is 50, that's when I'm going to release the numbers. So that way it'll make a good talking point, even though a lot of the talking points on the Facebook are pretty terrible.
Mhm.
It's okay.
It makes me sad on the inside, but it's
Where are their tops?
I make the numbers.
I'm a statistic now.
Yeah.
I've had the statistics 2 years in a row. The sample size right now is 32, so it's kind of making the numbers wonky. Even though Shadows won in Atlanta, I'm so used to playing in Atlanta. Even though Shadows won in Jacksonville, because I went ahead and counted the Jacksonville events before I went on the Bushiroad website, which is normally something I don't do, but since I was there, I was able to confirm it with my eyes. So I uploaded those before Bushiroad made those, put those on their website, and I put the Singapore deck list towards the stats. So Shadows are now actually topping 18% of the time.
They went down because more decks entered the list.
Yeah, because 6 decks entered.
Yep.
Yeah, into the pool.
Yeah, Shadows are now at. What are Shadows at? I'll tell you right now. I put them in alphabetical order, so it'd be easier to find this time around too. Shadows are at 18.75%, followed by Gears at 15.63.
Mhm.
Which still means it's 6 Lord tops or 6 Shadow tops?
Yes. Or shadows towards the bottom. I should probably maximize this. Oh yeah, 6 out of 32 are Shadows.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Math.
Yay!
So is there anything else that you wanted to comment about the event at all, or say, or at least shout outs or something?
The shout outs that I'm gonna throw out to that I normally show out. I would normally throw out. So shout out to Arena. Shout out to the new Batama player because he was tight.
Mhm.
There was one guy who I wanted to throw a shout out to.
Carpet Empire.
David Schuler was a gear player. I'll throw a shout out to him because he was tight.
Mhm.
So I was trying. There was a person that I want to throw a shout out to just because we have one of the best conversations ever. And he was telling me that he agreed that Chaos was good and that people do underestimate it. The only reason why Chaos doesn't see more play is because it's not fun.
Mhm.
And said that I wasn't having fun playing the deck. And I told him that I have a ton of fun playing Chaos. And this kid goes, but why? And then David comes in and screams, because he's an asshole.
Wow.
That makes David my hero. Yeah, shout out to the judges. I know that you guys are understaffed, so
yeah.
God, fucking
We'll be talking about it here in a minute, so
get ready.
Yeah, thank you for helping out when they were understaffed. I would have did it myself, but the whole money thing and me being a Finra agent and all that fun
I'm
stuff.
glad you got second, man. We needed someone from our team to make it to top again.
We needed someone from our team to actually make it to day 2.
And not oversleep.
Team Dad was disappointed in half of the people.
like I don't want to just make fun of Harry, but the fact that he goes like, well, I could have made it to top 8 or whatever, and I'm like, well, you didn't, so
also he got there were plenty of gears in day 2, and he just got bent over to gears, and he admitted that he gets bent over to gears, so all he had to do was play a gears player once in day 2, and then he would have been instantly out of top.
Yeah.
Neonectar has a lot. Neonectar is really good, but it also just has glaring problems.
It has really weird bad matchups because it has bad matchups against top decks, and then it has good matchups against everything else. It kind of runs into the chaos problem, but its bad matchups are things that actually are seen.
Yeah, I can that's why I'm happy I play Altmile now, because I can wreck a Neonectar player before they set up.
Yeah, they just don't have a chance against anything with any form of
Rush and control. If Rush goes off, they don't have the pieces in hand to draw their cards.
Yeah, they have a hard time with Rush. They instantly die to good Chaos players and good Messiah players.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a bad Chaos player, if you're a bad Link Joker player in general, then you're going to get steamrolled by Neos.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you'll make the mistake and then they'll take advantage of it. They instantly lose to Kagero. They have a really hard time against Narukami. It's just yeah.
So do we want to tell our side of things, Zeke, from the volunteers standpoint?
Jesus Christ. So, do you want me to cover the intro of our orientation?
If you want, yeah, go ahead.
So, very first day. So
Friday night.
Your guys' day 1 was Saturday. Our day 1 was Friday night. So we have come up to the location that the tournament's being held, and we have to help set up. And we're going to our first day orientation. It's volunteering orientation. You go to this volunteer meeting, and they're going to tell you everything you need to know for day 2, for the first day of the game, and to help set up because you have a lot of setup to do. Anyone that is at the venue, all those mats, we had to put those down. We had to set up all the goodie bags for 600 players and all that other stuff. But anyway, so we get in there, and there are 13 of us. Day 1 of the tournament, there are still only 13 of us are volunteering.
Yeah.
There, all the people that attended the meeting were the people we had to work with.
Yeah.
There was one dude there, Justin Whitfield?
Yeah, Justin Whitfield.
Whitfield. Super
he was the
tight
floor
dude.
judge.
Yeah, super tight dude. Been playing the game since the very beginning, floor judging. Super amazing guy. He was pretty much all of us that had no idea how to work at a Bushiroad event on how to do it and be okay. And he had a word with us, and he was like, so just so you guys know, the Southeast is chronically understaffed every single event.
Mhm.
And it causes a lot of bad press for Bushiroad. And we're like, yeah, we all know, because most of us had played at Bushiroad events.
Yeah.
And then he's talking about like everyone being runners for rulings and stuff, and don't give a ruling if you're not super confident on it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
So, real quick, I'm just gonna say, so at the Friday meeting, they did tell us we were both runners and we were both gonna give rulings. So for a lot of us, or at least for me, for certain, I was very nervous about it because because I went for the judges test. I know I passed the online portion, but I've never like given rulings to people outside of like jokingly. And
Yeah.
it's serious. It's a level 2 tournament.
and I'm incredibly comfortable with giving rulings and everything else. Which is hilarious for what's going to happen after this discussion. We tell you about our status currently.
Yeah.
So anyway, the head judge, Alex Zhang, asks everyone, he's like, so who's comfortable with Vanguard? And out of us, there were 11 people that were like super comfortable with the game.
Yeah.
And he was like, why Schwartz and Buddy fight? And there were 4 people comfortable with the game.
Mhm.
And there were 2 people who didn't know any of the games, period. But it's okay because they were supposed to be runners.
Yeah.
And then he asked all of us that were volunteering, we're talking about the judges exam and taking our interviews and all that. So we did that. And there was one person who was like, when are we going to hear back about that? And everyone kind of was like, oh, you didn't make it then.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. And I actually heard about him giving a wrong ruling to a player multiple times.
Mhm.
And it's from whenever you're on the side where you're actually working the event, it's like that really sucks. But whenever you're a player, that's like the worst thing ever because it ruins your day and probably your game and probably your day.
And you will be remembered.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, he should have appealed to a judge, all that other stuff, like appealed upward to see if
Yeah,
anything
he
else
should've.
changed. But yeah, like, so we did that whole volunteer interview thing or orientation thing, and it was
Yeah.
great. So me being super confident and thinking, oh, I know everything in this game, I'm fine. I took my interview day 1, so did Corum, but Corum's got pushed back till after the event.
It was official day 1 for the tournament. I took it during my 5 o'clock break, but continue.
Yeah, but Corum, yours was originally scheduled right after mine.
Yeah.
And they had to move it back. I took mine, and I barely failed. I went in dry, didn't study, and got fucked for it.
Mhm.
But I was told, hey, try again in September, and we'll do it again. And I was like, tight, awesome.
Mhm.
And that was still enough. They still had enough confidence in me judging the day 2 top for Vanguard. And there was no issue with it. Like, I judge at my locals all the time and all this other stuff. It was just hubris. But
Mhm.
then we did everything for the orientation, and then day 1 happened, and we had to be there an hour before everyone else.
Mhm.
And we finished the setup, tournaments began, and then do you want to talk about your getting called on and your experience first?
So the first thing I remember during that event was so there's a match between Kagura Overlord player. I don't think he was using anything else other than the Legend. He was fighting a Gurguit player, and the Gurguit player I feel like only had the 2 like start decks together, I think. So they're playing. They go to time. I'm overseeing the event. Game ends. Kagura player wins. I go to check the match slip. The Kagura player is in the wrong seat. So I bring it over to the head judge because Justin was preoccupied, so I couldn't go talk to him about it. And basically, he told me that wrong player. If the player's didn't play the right game, he gets a match loss, which basically meant you lost your round because it was best of 1. So the gold paladin player ended up getting it, which I thought was pretty funny, not gonna lie. So I pretty much focused on at that point making sure people got to the right seats so that wouldn't happen again to anybody. What was the first thing you did as far as rulings.
The first thing I did as far as rulings was I got called for a Great Nature game versus Gurguit, and the Great Nature player was like, "Can I use my markers to mark my number cards drawn?" And we had to appeal to the TO because it went above the head judge to ask, "Hey, what do you want us to do about this?" And he was like, "As long as the players agree on it, he can do it." And I was like, "Okay." So I had to stand there and watch the guy awkwardly ask. He's like, "Wait, really?" And I have to ask. And I was like, "Yeah, that's it." And he's like, "Can I use my dice to mark it?" And the other player was like inquisitive about the dice being used to mark it. And they went, "Yeah, it's fine, man." Just like messing with him. But yeah, that happened to me. That was like my first ruling of the day. And then I encountered Neonectar player after that.
Okay. So the first time I encountered said Neonectar player was he was fighting against the Pale Moon player, like I said earlier in the stream, and basically it was Moonlight Beast Tamer Betty. It was from the trial deck, and basically it says CB1 at the end of the battle that it boosted. Choose the boosted unit goes to soul, and you call another unit out of your soul to rear guard. So Betty doesn't have Magia on it, so therefore it's not a Magia ability. So when Cutie Paratrooper is called to rear guard, if it's not via a Magia ability, she does not proc. Yep. So he was right. And
he just chose to do it in the douchiest way possible.
Pretty much. I mean, he basically he should have said, "Judge, he's using the ability incorrectly," or "This ability does not activate." And I read both cards and said, "Yeah, you got it. It's right." I asked the Pale Moon player because I think the Pale Moon player was like, "No, this is wrong." His friend right beside him was also saying like, "But it's called from soul. That's what Magia is." And I'm like, "Yes, you're correct. However, the card that procced Cutie Paratrooper being called did not have Magia. Therefore, it does not activate."
And then you called me over for clarification, right?
Yeah, before going to Justin, because Justin was at another game, and I didn't want to keep like, "Oh, run to Justin, run to Justin." So if I had like 2 verifications, yeah. And then what was funny is, so the game resolves, Neonectar player got it. Another player comes up, and he's basically like, "Yeah, he did something during guard step where he called a unit, the unit wasn't supposed to activate it." So I finally get Justin over, things are tense. Basically, he called Thuria. He was on Marjuka, so Thuria's ability would not activate. So the excuse the Neonectar player gave was that he had so many cards in hand that it would have been an extra 5k to guard, and he had the 5k in hand to guard it. Also, the reason why we could not do anything about it, because I'm going to say this here now, anyone watching this stream, please forward it to other people just for this one part. If you're next at a regional and you see something fishy or something wrong, you are allowed to call a judge or a staff member to officiate. You cannot pause the game, but you can hurry up, grab a judge, and have us stop it. I mean, honestly, because we can't do anything if it already happens.
It happened every fucking time. It's literally, Corum and I had this discussion in the car. Like, everyone kept coming up to us after games and being like, "Why didn't you catch them cheating from across the ballroom, the hallway?" And shit. It's like, dude, you can call a judge, and they're just like, "I can," and it's like, you just can't stop the game. That's all you can't do.
Yeah. Also, another thing is that we had 279 Vanguard players total for day one.
Yeah, correct? 279.
So we have 13 total staff members, 8 of them that are walking the floor for 279 players. How
it's
many?
Like 20-something a person.
One more time. Sorry.
It's like 20-something judge, but it's like the number of games is like
10 games.
Yeah.
So you're telling me I need to be vigilant for 10 games to catch one little thing? That's hard for me to do unless someone calls judge. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry that I missed it, that I couldn't catch it, and I'll try to be more vigilant next time. But honestly, if you are responsible for your opponent's effects and vice versa.
At a game, in a table of 10 games going on, and there's a judge there are 21 people there responsible for all the effects that are happening.
Mm-hmm.
You and your opponent and the judge. Mm-hmm. But if the judge is busy, it's you and your opponent. You can call judge anytime you want. Don't be afraid to. And I saw there are people on the Reddit that are like, "Yeah, I know I should have called judge," and all this other stuff, and like on the Facebook. But it's like, just do it. Like, why let your dreams be dreams? Just do it.
I will say that we were told to be lenient. So we were supposed to give warnings, which is I think one of the low. You can give cautions at a level 2 tournament, but like warnings was kind of the highest we could go without further escalation to the floor judge and to the head judge. So because the first warning I had to give was for the same Neo Nectar player against a Nova player, because he drew an extra card during the start of his phase, and he tried to blame it on me for saying, but you called time and I didn't know. And I'm like, I told you to stop what you're doing and to pause game state. I didn't say to continue in any way, shape, or form. So I gave him a warning for drawing an extra card during his draw phase. And people were like, well, he has 2 warnings. Why didn't he get a match loss or a game loss? And it's like, so another thing that you have to know is that it has to be 2 warnings of the same kind to escalate, which means that you need to have 2 warnings of the same thing happening. Like if he drew again during the start of draw phase, he drew an extra card. Because he has 2 warnings, he would get a match loss.
Or if like a player has 2 like violations in section 2.3 and then 1 and 2, or one section in 1 and 2.3 and 1 and 2.4, they're 2 different sections.
Yeah.
But if they get it for the same thing, then you can do stuff and escalate. Also, that Neo player did the same guarding thing in another game. He was kind of scummy.
Yeah.
He actually came up to us at the beginning of day 2, remember?
Yeah. I got that vibe from him after I've had multiple people come up to me, but there's nothing I can do. I can't just say like I'm gonna DQ you because you're fishy. No, I have to catch you on something, or the players have to catch them on something that I can roll on.
Yeah. It was the Neo Nectar player came up to Corum and I on day 2 and started talking about how people are just trying to catch him and stuff. And we were just kind of like, yeah, man, it really sucks. Just, if you think they're trying to target you, just play your best and stuff. And then everything else happened. But it was great listening to him complain about people wanting to catch him cheating and how he's not like that and people are just jealous. And then he's like actually got caught cheating.
Yeah, so it's like, because if he just played the game normally, and honestly, if he would have played for fun, not for just like, I gotta win and to cheat to win, he would have been fine. And I feel like people may have backed off on him. But
yeah.
So as far as day 1, it went off without a hitch, really. I took my judge's exam at 5 p.m. roughly, and I barely passed. That's all I'm at liberty to say. I will become an official Bushiroad judge. I'm waiting for the verification. I cannot tell anyone as far as the questions, as far as the testing procedure. All I can say is that take the test, see if you make it. When it's fully official, I'll see what the judges in the Southeast are going to advise me on as far as like further, like, can I take questions from anyone at any time? Do I have to go through a certain channel to receive questions, stuff like that? But I have to say, it was great to work the event before taking my exam, because I kind of got a feel for being a judge. And even if I didn't make it, it was still a great experience. I mean, they said you were allowed to judge and you were a runner and you got experience.
Yep.
That's all I really wanted to like help with locals. So.
Same.
But as far as day 2, we had to leave early because we had to make that I had to make a 6-hour drive back.
I had to make a 4-hour ride back.
Yeah. So we didn't work the full day, but I helped out for round 1. Yeah, because round 1 was best of 3. So it lasted longer than expected. And they did do the double loss, which was interesting. So they're still sticking with that.
It's still Swiss though. It's just simulated double loss. Also, for anyone that makes it to day 2, there was one player that was really down. And he's like, "There's no way a 5-2 can make it to top." I just want to say I talked to like one, and I told him, "No, you can totally make it to top." And he's like, "No, man, you can't. I did the tournament math." And I was like, "Well, then you did it wrong." From someone who constantly is doing tournament math in their head for 64-person tournaments, I can tell you a 5-2 can make top. You just can't lose a game. Ever. At day 2. You literally can't lose. That's your only prerogative, is you just cannot lose a game, period. And you can make it stop. I mean, I think there was someone that was in top 8 who had lost 2 games, but he made it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's whether or not you have the drive to keep going in that tournament. Honestly,
Don't let your dreams just be dreams.
yeah. So
That's my quote. I said that first, obviously.
trademark.
Yep. It's mine now.
No, it's not. You can't steal this from me like you stole my shadows, you scum.
They're all mine too.
That's okay. I have shiny cards now.
Yeah.
I have the shiniest of cards.
So I will definitely say for this event, for working it, I'm definitely gonna say I'm more sympathetic to Bushiroad right now, because hearing that from Justin, hearing that from the staff, talking with the staff, especially like Christian and Alex, talking to them about like how bad it is.
Boss, call me.
Yeah, boss.
Christian was boss. He was tight. I
Yeah,
have personal email.
I definitely want to work the event come October. I'm totally for it.
I do not know if I want to work the October event.
I mean, we'll see what comes up. It's just that I enjoyed it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. They could definitely use the help. So
Honestly, it seems like it's just a weird disconnect between Bushiroad America and their player base, and it's not even their fault. It's just the fact that they're so severely understaffed at tournaments.
yeah, I felt like if some of the player base was more willing to help them out, things would run smoother. Which it did run fairly smooth. We did have a couple hiccups where we don't. I'm not sure like Nick's rival Ryan. He got dropped somehow during the tournament. They had to re-add him in, so that's why they got repaired day one. So, and then other than that, that was like the only hiccup besides like people making sure people got the right match slips. Other than that, nothing was too out of place.
My favorite round was the round where I was passing out match slips at the back tables because I was like, give me the back tables. I really want to go back there. And I was walking down, and as I was passing by, I was literally just writing down people that dropped. It was amazing. I went back up, and I handed in slips, and I'm like, wow, that many people finished already? I was like, no, that many people dropped. And he's like, oh, shit. I turned in like 24 slips of drops, and it's just like, yep.
I think my favorite one was one of our team members got a guy to drop on round 1.
Oh yeah, Hayden. Didn't he swing for like 3 crit on a restanding blaster blade?
Yes. He actually had the ability to restand it twice, and it was 4 damage on hit with blaster blade.
That's really dumb.
I like how he immediately made someone tilt out. That's amazing.
He's my hero.
I can't wait to make someone tilt out that hard. But yeah, the tournament experience was pretty tight. I would suggest if you haven't worked it before, definitely do if you're not a Fenra agent.
Yeah.
It's pretty good experience. You get a feel for community building, and having people hate you for no reason is really positive as well. All in all, I would say that the experience left me feeling as less of a person than I was originally, and it was pretty tight. I would do it again, but not anytime soon. However, the worst thing is whenever you're telling people, hey, don't do this thing, and then they get lippy with you, and then you have to tell them, I don't care, leave. Because it's beautiful watching them get upset whenever you tell them, I don't care what you feel, you can't do that. So,
not just that, I think that goes under severe sportsmanship, and that can be disqualification if it gets escalated enough. So,
and I'm not actually an asshole, I'm just playing the joke right now. But yeah, really, don't be a dick. If a judge asks you not to fucking do something, don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, I have like 100 pounds on you, and I'll take you outside and beat that ass. I'm the dad for a reason. I don't take no shit. There was one dude who I told, hey man, you can't stand behind that table and spectate your friend's game. You have to move to the sides. Cool. And then he went, my friend's game already ended. And I was like, okay. And I walked away, and he started talking trash. And I walked back up, got real close to him. And I was like, look, there are 2 other games going on beside you. You need to move now. Otherwise, you can get out. And he was like, sorry.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, don't talk shit, motherfucker.
I mean,
I'm wearing a staff shirt right now. No, but
As
Yeah,
far as
really.
the spectating thing, I have to admit that was really annoying because we would tell everyone multiple times, stand on the edge of the tables, please do not talk. And what did people do? Exactly
They,
what you didn't tell them.
also, if your friend's in a game and they're in like day 2, don't talk to them in between rounds. Like there was one dude who did that, and he was completely nice about it. He's like, "Oh, I get it. I'm sorry. I didn't even think about that." And it's like, yeah, just don't though, please. Like, I mean, I get it. You're excited for your friend, and it's like, and I get it. Like, it's that anti-authoritarian like mindset, but it's a tournament. We got to make sure everyone's on the up and up.
Hmm.
And not everyone like you can't always assume everyone's like the I'm trying to think of a good analogy. You can't assume everyone's a good person. You have to assume everyone is just a neutral party trying to win.
Hmm.
So um yeah. Also, people need to give slack to the Bushiroad like staffers because holy shit, we had to do so much. Like people don't understand like how shitty it is to work an event and then go online and then see like everyone talking trash about you and how shit your event was, and it's like, yeah, well, there were 12 of us working for 276 people.
We were on our feet for roughly 12 hours straight.
Day one, yeah.
Yeah, day one definitely was 12 hours straight. We had 30-minute breaks, and we only had two of them. And one of them, I took my judge's test. So,
Yeah, and it's like, I get it. We volunteered to make sure that everyone else had a good time, but at the same time, the turnouts are getting smaller and smaller, and a lot of it has to do with, I think, the negative like perceptions online.
mhm.
But and I'm gonna blame the player. I'm gonna blame the player base slightly for this because it's one of those things of everyone bandwagoning against Bushiroad. And I
Mhm.
mean, I get it. They did some shitty things in the past, but it's getting significantly better. Like they're starting to clean up around their 5-year anniversary, and it's about fucking time, honestly.
Yeah,
But at the same time, like people need to realize that their old mentalities are becoming like super toxic towards the actual building of a community.
F a
And
children's card game.
yeah, it's a children's card game. But I mean, it's kind of like the mentality is what gets Magic locals so bad is like where people are just like stealing cards and shit. Like that mentality breeds that. Or the Yu-Gi-Oh community, Jesus Christ.
don't even start with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Like it's one of those things where the experience was eye-opening, but also now that I've worked the other side, I know for a fact it's not always that bad as people have
Yeah,
been saying. Because I mean, there were people. I'm not going to name names or reference any players, but there were people that were straight up like, "Judge did this to me," and it's like, no, they didn't. I literally saw what happened. The judge ruled against you. Don't be that salty about it. You
mhm.
you did something you didn't know that you were doing wrong, and then you fucked up.
Yeah,
Don't blame other people because you're bad.
mhm.
Get good.
Yeah, pretty much. Because at least I want to say the head staff, so like head judge, floor judge, TO. I believe it was Justin and Maya who also worked behind the counter. Uh, they are all, I felt like, very competent people, and they knew what they were doing. And it's just if they had more hands to help out, it would definitely run smooth without a hitch.
Yeah, and I
So,
mean,
so
yeah.
definitely I agree with the bandwagoning. I feel like it needs to stop. I feel like people need to give Bushiroad a chance, which I understand. You want to say like, well, look at Greece and look at other bad things that happen. It's like, yes, bad things happen, yes, but the fact that you just want to shut down and just like, do you think Bushiroad's going to honestly try and keep going if they know the player base is toxic?
Also, I want to point out that all the worst things that have happened in this game have happened in other countries.
Yeah,
Straight up, like the worst thing that happened in America was the Georgia issue that everyone had,
mhm.
and then they
Yeah,
made a
they had
justice program for it.
Yeah,
yeah, they had all that terrible stuff happen in Greece, and then the players started playing Vanguard.
mhm.
Yeah, and then in France,
Oh yeah, that was great.
the France round zero.
Yeah,
But yeah, um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to mention.
Not really. It's just that I just hope that people, I hope they had fun at this event. I know we worked hard. We were trying to make it fun for other people.
I hope everyone had a miserable time, and I hope they hated it.
Congrats to Nick, of course, for trying his hardest. Congrats to all the people that topped.
Thank you.
Congrats, Nick. I hope everyone that went there that had a negative experience hated it and never comes back. Thank you, please.
Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Like, it was a simple weekend. We were tired. We either worked or got cards and played cards and sold stuff. And
I finished all my decks.
You finished how many decks again? 4?
I finished 4 over a weekend, and I didn't even have to trade. Except twice.
So dumb.
Other people did it for me. Thank you, other people.
But yeah. Anything else, guys?
My life is an eternal abyss of darkness and pain.
I was the one being dark and edgy this episode. You can't steal this from me. I will bring the belt.
Team Dad, no.
It was a fun
Also, I will hate myself eternally for that photo that they put on Facebook and Twitter. And now it comes up on Google.
I have so much fun editing that photo.
Eternal joy, by the way.
Oh my god, no. Like, I was trying to fake a smile. Like, when you get second place at this event, like, there's a moment of, like, energy, like, oh my god, I got second, this is really cool. And then there's another one that was like, hey, that guy over there got a plane ticket to Japan.
I didn't.
And he's next going to Japan, right? I don't think he is.
You don't even get invited if you make it to top 2 or 3.
Oh,
they don't even want me there.
Yeah, no. This the way they're doing this, by the way, is the smartest thing ever I've seen, and I'm going to talk about it for just like probably 4 minutes. Only the winners get to go. No losers allowed, straight up, and I love it because they're going to go, okay, so here are 20 regionals happening, and then we're going to cut, and we're going to do another 20 regionals, and then we do a Worlds with all 40 players, and only these 40 players can come. I think that's the best way to run your tournament if you're like, I hate people that are bad at this game. And that's like a really good step towards competitive because it says you get participation prizes if you make it to top 2 through 2 to like 297.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone else, the 1%, they get to go to Japan. They get to go to Worlds. They get to enjoy the moment. And I like that because it's inherently more competitive now. So they fixed their tournament format and made it more competitive for competitive people. And I like that a lot. I still like ARG more, though, because they pay you money.
Then Star City, I think, is going to be starting up soon, like you said.
And Star City gives you money if you win, too. I like that, too. It doesn't matter if you come in second, because you leave with like $200, $300, or like $1,000, depending on how big the prize pool is. So you don't even care if you got second place. It's like, yeah, they do want a trip to Japan, but I won money.
And if you make second or first loser again?
It hurts so good.
It's okay. You got the second biggest trophy.
Yeah.
It has so much salt on it.
The best part about this is Nick can't talk shit to us. We worked at the event.
Yeah.
Ha, ha, ha. We weren't even good enough to compete.
As we look down on all the players from above on our high pedestal.
On our fucking pedestal. I know the rules of this game. You're all just scum. Ha ha ha. Also, I wish people realize that judges aren't always right and they can always fucking appeal. Like, Jesus Christ, guys. Appeal.
Yeah, poor Hayden. Because if I was rolling it, it's really just a warning for accidentally revealing the cards in your hand. Don't do it again. Because he said he declared it paying cost for strike and the cards fumbled out of his hand. And he normally doesn't stray from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blues.
Yeah.
He didn't make second place, though. He didn't get a trophy. And now I
It's so
have his
pretty.
deck too.
But anyway, I think that's about it.
Let's
okay,
try to
yeah, good stream.
let's try to make more
Um,
videos in the future.
yeah, definitely over the summer. I'll have time to do it.
I'll only have a class.
I have two, but one of them's online.
Yeah, hey, my only class is online, so I'm gonna just do nothing.
Yeah, we'll be streaming and doing discussions and other fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
I hope this is eye-opening. If I do get approval from Bushiroad relatively soon, I hope to have that up soon.
Also, be ready for June. We're going to ARG, boys.
Is it?
Yeah.
In June,
Where
we're going to ARG, and I'll unveil the secret deck.
is it in Orlando? Please be in
Yeah,
Orlando.
no, it's Atlanta. It's terrible. It's gonna be really. They just reformatted their roads. It's gonna be horrible. But I'm gonna play a secret deck that I hope people really hate.
Oh man, I hope it's OTT. Oh man,
It's okay. It's the one you and Nick theorized. I'm just piloting it, and I'm gonna scum so
I
many
know what it is
people.
now. Never mind. It's gonna be good.
It's okay. And then they have to
But-
deal with me across the table from them, just looking at them discerningly, hoping that their lives end as Team Dad just swings down from below.
I'll just play Salt Mile. Salt Mile's working really well. Thank you, Adam Asia, for the build. It's amazing.
We're gonna come out with that Team Sunshine original soon. It's gonna be sick as fuck.
Yeah, let's do it. Anyway,
Oh my god, I'm so excited about us building that.
I know, I'm so excited too. I can't wait. I can't wait for my opponent to. I'll give one hint. If your cards have a G effect on them, it doesn't work at all. And I ride to grade 3.
great.
If your card has any red G symbols on them, it just doesn't work. They just might as well disappear from your deck because you're gonna be guarding with them.
All right, I guess we'll call it here. Any last minute stuff to say to anyone else who might be watching or listening?
I was joking. I hope you really didn't hate the event. If you stayed this long, you're in on the joke now. Congratulations.
Please hold us accountable for more videos. Be
Or
angry
don't.
with us. Or yeah, just die.
It's okay.
Send the hate mail specifically to Corum buyers.
Okay, sounds good.
I got so many private messages. No more private messages after when I got
So
top tier. I got so many
Nick
PMs.
Ward at Sunshine Arena. Not joking.
Also, we will be making more videos. I think our next video, we should talk about the set that's about to drop that I don't remember the name of. What is it? Fires Collection?
It's Rummy Labyrinth, this next confirmed set.
I'm so
we're
excited
getting
about that.
Fires Collection?
Fighters Collection is after?
Oh,
Yeah, after.
then get ready, guys. It's time for another Team Dad and Corum review a set.
Oh boy.
It'll be 45 minutes to an hour goddamn long, and I'm going to hate my life by the end of it.
Hey, what do you
So
think of
fun
this
fact-
card? It's next card.
So fun fact, my very first deck that I ever built was a Legion Cocytus hybrid.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That was back when you were bad at the game.
I still topped with it. It was great.
I topped at locals with it. It's a good deck.
No, it was
our locals is trash.
our locals is trash. Our Kagero player killed all my units. I came back. It was beautiful.
The only one that really learned from it was Liam, outside of everyone on our team.
It's fine.
But I can't wait. I'm gonna bust Rummy Labyrinth wide open.
I bet you are. All right, this is Sunshine. This is the Sunshine Arena signing off.
Yeah.
Peace.
Goodbye.